you have to factor in injuries. You have to factor in precautionary measures to keep guys out. But Jeremiah Telander deserves credit for being one of the standouts of spring camp, and not just because of what he did during the spring game, where he was one of Tennessee's most productive defensive players, but Telander deserves a lot of credit for what he's done and just keep chipping away and climbing the ladder. And I think he's doing that. No more cliches from Dave anymore. But Telander, to me, could make Tennessee's linebacking core so much different if he can. I know he's probably more of a Mike, so if something happens to Peely, he could step in there or just give him a blow now and again. And then on the outside, I don't know if he can play outside backer. I would tend to think probably not. But if something were to happen to Arian Carter, I just think he brings Tennessee an awful lot of flexibility. And I did talk to some people within the program about him. They're very high on him. He may be the one player that's kind of gone under the radar, Caleb, that we haven't talked about enough from spring camp, because he had a great spring camp.
Well, Elijah Herring entered the portal for a reason, guys. And I mean, just to point that out there, but one of the things that was notable was Elijah Herring and Telander stepped in for Keenan Peely last year when Keenan Peely was hurt. Elijah Herring was more notable. He got more of the snaps. That's why he racked up more of the tackles. Dave, you and I both said we thought Telander was better at it, though, when we saw him fill in last year for Peely over Herring. And Telander he played all 13 games. He had 35 tackles, 2.5 tackles for a loss, a pass breakup, and 15 solo tackles. I don't really care about tackle stats for linebackers. I've made that clear in the past. I think that's not really a effective measurement of how good they are. But I thought Telander had better lateral quickness. I think Elijah Herring was starting more over him last year because Elijah Herring actually knew the playbook better. I think he was just, at the time, a more veteran, experienced player. But I think it was always clear that once Telander kind of figured it out and picked it up, that he was going to end up being the better player. He's just quicker. He is, and I say that with, again, it's so hard for me to say that about Elijah Herring, which is why I entered the portal, because I have such high regard for him as a person. But Telander is going to be that third backer out with Keenan Peely and Arian Carter, and there will be times where they, you know this, Dave. Yes, the nickels run more often now than ever, but they will sometimes have their base 4-3 alignment in there. And I do think Telander will be out there with Carter and Peely at that point.
No, great. I think you'll play Sam and you'll probably flip Carter to Will, would be my guess, when they play that 4-3, but that's pretty rare that they do that. Let me tell you Telander's future. And I'll tell you right now, it's brought to you by Quality Tire Pro. The Eberle family has been serving Chattanooga's community since 1957. All major brands of tires, full service automotive, brakes, alignments, oil changes, and more. All work is covered by a nationwide warranty. Cherokee Blvd or online at qualitytirepros.com. Qualitytirepros.com. Just tell them that Off the Hook Sports said, hey, Bo, he's going to be the leader of this team in 2025. Peely's gone. He's going to be 39 and a half years old. And Telander's going to be the leader of this group from the mic, almost by default. Who else would you point to as being the leader? If you want to say best player, it's James Pierce, but he's going to be gone after this year. And he had an off-the-field issue that you wonder about leadership. I can't think of anybody else that has a head start to be a leader for this defense in 2025 than Jeremiah Telander.
I mean, you're not wrong unless Boo Carter has Eric Berry level maturity. Because remember, Eric Berry was a leader of that team as a sophomore.
That's true. But that's a transcendental player. That's a once every 25 years player, right?
Yes. I mean, in both ways, just to point this out, Eric Berry was amazing as a talent, but I mean, he was like, if you could do a score across the board, he's 100 on talent and 100 on character at the same time. And so, I mean, you don't get that every day. So you're right. I agree. Telander is definitely one of them. You know, going through the defensive line players, I mean, yeah, it's hard because Amari Thomas is the leader of the unit this year, and he's going to be gone after this year. So I can't really say it'd be him. Omar Norman Lott wouldn't be back. So and Keenan Peely's not going to be back. So, I mean, Dave on defense. It's hard for me to disagree with you.
It's tough to be a leader on the defensive line because you can't see the entire defense. So typically, the Eric Berry situation was rare, but typically that is one of your linebackers because in second level you have the ability to see more. So I think it's going to be Telander. Now, as far as a leader off the field, I don't know if he's that or not, but he's going to be the guy in 2025 that has to get them lined up in the right position.
Oh, you're talking about kind of like the not like the off the field like leader, but the quarterback on with the defense is what you're talking about.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, Telander is the obvious choice for that. The only other option would be a safety, maybe Andre Turrentine if he ever figures it out. People keep telling me he's got it this year. I'll believe it when I see it, but people in Knox were like, "Oh my God, no, he's going to be good. It's going to work out, guys." And I'm still team like I 2 years in, I don't see anything that tells me it's going to work out. But if it does work out, he'll have experience, so maybe he could be the leader at that point. But we'll have to see.
Maybe we shall see. Joe Milton, best worst case scenario. How much does it help if he succeeds in the NFL as far as Tennessee going out and recruiting quarterbacks? I think it helps an awful lot. And also, Jaden Rashada back in the portal. Georgia looks to be an early favorite. Telander's the type of guy that when you look at him, he's the type of middle linebacker you want. I don't think that he's going to blow anybody away with this lateral quickness, but he's going to be able to fill the box when essentially that's what you're looking for out of that position. I think Tennessee's very fortunate, too, that Telander didn't say, "Oh, man, that Peely guy's sticking around for another year. I'm going to cruise out of here and enter the transfer portal." So I'll go ahead and give Jeremiah Telander a major kudos, a major prop, just because he didn't transfer when things didn't look like they were going to break his way. There are a lot of kids that when they heard that Peely got another year, they'd have been like, "I'm out of here." And who could have blamed him?
Yeah, that's very true. What about Arian Carter though? Could he be the leader of the team in 2025? I know that Telander is going to be more than Mike linebacker, so he would probably be the guy. But I'm sorry, the Sam linebacker. Excuse me. But
I think Arian
could Arian
Carter
Carter be the leader?
Arian Carter seems like the dominant young star as opposed to the veteran leader. I could be wrong. I'll do some digging on that. But
yeah, but he'll be a junior in 2025.
Yeah, it's getting fast. And then when you talk about Arian Carter being a leader, I mean, somebody's going to have to be a leader in 2025 because Peely's gone. So it's either Telander or Carter or who. I think we all know it's not going to be Aaron.
It's not going to be James Pierce. You're right. He's out of there. And it could be Caleb Herring. So
look at my guy Caleb looking out for a guy named Caleb on the message board. I thought maybe Carter, but I don't know. I'm the same way. I think Carter is going to be an incredible player, but am I looking him to be a leader as well? I think that's asking an awfully lot.